Which item can you equip to increase your combat EXP obtained as quest rewards by 30%?
Easy.
For those of you who watch Evil-Do-Us-Harm, you'll know the answer to this, probably.
Hello, what is up guys? Evil-Do-Us-Harm here today, back with another Black Desert video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Calpheon livestream part 2 that just happened literally yesterday. Go over all of the important information from this, all the important roadmap stuff, all the stuff you got to look forward to coming up in Black Desert. There's a ton of stuff, I'll try to cover it quickly. Obviously, the full livestream is linked below. I have a document right here with all of the timestamps of the important stuff that we're going to talk about. And there's also a summary page over here on the NAEU website too, so if you just want to thumb through pictures real quick and see what's going on, you can do that as well. Multiple options, but personally my favorite's the Evil-Do-Us-Harm summary, so without further ado, let's get into it, and let's start off with the first set of information. So the first hour of this thing is pretty much dedicated to the new class that is getting released, so you've probably heard about this in your social circles, but there's also a separate page for it here. It has 2 trailers on the class. You can't show the full things without getting yourself copyright problems. But I can show you a little bit of the intro footage here, and obviously you can watch these, they're linked in the description below. It's basically a dragon character, tons of lightning, tons of fire, lots of explosions, flies around, does pretty cool stuff, so a lot of people are definitely going to want to play this one. So you have the combat trailer as well as the lore trailer, just like they do every time they release a character. Links down below if you'd like to watch them, and literally that's the first hour of this thing, first hour and a half. Now after they spent the first hour and a half talking about the new class, they're going to move on into talking about sound reworks that are coming to the game. So from 1 hour and 30 minutes into the stream, pretty much all the way until the 2 hour mark, we have a bunch of information about new music, new audio, new stuff coming into the game. The big one that a lot of people are going to be interested in comes up at 1 hour and 51-ish minutes. We have new instruments coming for the Shy. So these 3 new instruments right here are going to be coming out in relatively short order. So if you're into composing music, you'll have something to look forward to. After that, we go up to 2 hours and 7 minutes before we get anything else more relevant here, and this 2 hour and 7 minute section is a story rework, so information about reworking the story. So right here at 2:09:03, we have one of the first cutscenes that they're going to be adding into the game, so these are going to be new cutscenes in the Balanos region to help new adventurers get into the game, so this is basically boss origin story stuff. Jumping out a bit further out to 2 hours and 13 minutes and 30 seconds, we have the screenshots of the new face reworks that are happening for a bunch of the characters in the game. So story characters are getting reworked. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but I guess a slight improvement to a lot of the faces. Also, Drek got a new hairstyle, so yeah. 2 hours and 14 minutes and 50 seconds goes ahead and says that they're doing the Balanos region right now with all these reworks. They're slowly going to work their way through the rest of the game. 2 hours 15:22 starts talking about the new story intro that you have to play in the game, the new tutorial that's going to start out with the game here coming up relatively soon. Not releasing right away, but it should be out relatively soon. Jumping on to the 2 hour 19 minute mark, they have these letters from fans who are playing the game, and the first one they use is to try and convince you that you can actually have a girlfriend and play Black Desert Online at the same time. Bunch of bullshit. I know from personal experience, it is impossible. You can't do it. Not gonna happen. But hey, nice try, Pearl Abyss, but I'm calling you out. But the real reason behind the story is they're trying to say that they're going to be revamping a bunch of the different grind zones. So they noticed that everybody does Orc Camp, and they want to make the other ones more relevant. To do that, they're going to reduce the amount of time that you can have an elvia weapon up for down to 30 minutes. Basically having a 50% uptime per hour. So 30 minutes per hour you can use an elvia weapon. They're going to increase the drop rates of a bunch of other stuff to try and make it so the other regions are more balanced or on par with the Orc Camp region, as a way to sort of give you an incentive to grind in the other zones. I don't grind in elvia zones, I'm a life skiller, so definitely not the best person to give you that information or if it's going to have any impact, but hey, it's something that's going to be happening. And then that's pretty much it until we get out to the 2 hour and 29 minute mark, where they start talking about server reworks and how they're going to rework the elvia regions. So the infographic that they use in the actual stream here is a little difficult to read, mainly because I don't read Korean, but don't worry, the English version has a little special graphic for us here. But basically what's going on is, coming up in the future, not near future, it's in the future, you're going to be able to select whether you want to go to a normal region of a grind zone or an elvia region of a grind zone when you log into the region or move into the region. There weren't a ton of details how this works, but basically there's going to be all normal servers, there won't be separated servers, and you'll be able to select when you get there. A bit further still, onto the 2 hour 31 minute mark, they start to talk about private servers and private grind zones and whatnot. So they're going to be adding a new system, once again no timeline on the implementation for this, that'll allow you to grind in a spot 1 hour worry-free. You can't get ganked, it's going to be a private grinding zone for you to enter and basically experience the game. This is actually super awesome for me, because the biggest reason why I don't grind is because I suck at PvP and I don't want to PvP other people. So it's going to be a nice grief-free way to enjoy the game. Really looking forward to this. Hope they fast-track this one. Wink, wink. The 2 hour, 32 minute, and 50-second mark summarizes all of the points that I've just made, so if you want to watch just the summary where they cover the highlights of all these different things, you can check the stream there. We then get a bit of a break out until 2 hours and 36 minutes, where they talk about new systems being added into the game. So the first new system that they're going to add into the game is going to be a way for you to store your artifacts in a separate inventory bag. They're also going to be adding different stat bonuses for the artifact system so that you can have different stat bonuses. So things like ranged DP was a thing that they mentioned explicitly, but they're also going to be adding more. And then another huge one that's super important to me is going to be the unification of processing stones. So I have a ton of different processing stones in my inventory for all the different things that I craft when I do processing. They're going to be turning these into a singular type of item, unification of that system, which is fantastic. And then sticking in that same vein, it doesn't come up until the 2 hour and 42 minute mark, but I figure I might as well talk about it now. Somewhere around this 2 hour 42 minute mark, they talk about how they're going to be reworking life skill tools. So if you're like me, you have tons of different life skill tools. And what they're going to do is give them a separate inventory slot. Rather than having to equip them, they'll just automatically be used when you go for whatever you're trying to do. So you'll put these all into your like life skill tool bag, and when you go to like cut down a tree, it'll take out the axe, and then if you go and pick up a plant, it'll pick up the plant. You know what I mean? So it'll be a nice new system, kind of bringing it in line with pretty much every game that's come out recently. It's a change that kind of needed to happen, and I'm glad that they're finally doing it. So nice quality of life improvements on the life skill side, as well as the overall inventory management side. At the 2 hour and 44 minute, 45 second mark, they start talking about pets. So pets in the game, as you know, have difficulties looting when you're killing lots of stuff. They're going to change the prioritization so that the pets will prioritize loot rather than where your character is. I have no idea what impact that's going to do whatsoever. They then talk about the tier 5 pets again. I feel like we've been talking about these for quite a while. But basically how it's going to work is there's only going to be one tier 5 pet on your character there. And that one tier 5 pet, when you bring it out, is going to apply its bonus to all of the other pets in your character slot there. So instead of having to have 5 tier 5 pets, you'll only need the one. And then beyond that, also still committing that tier 5 pets are only going to require silver to upgrade. So yeah, neat system. Hopefully it comes out at some point, but once again, not a ton of details on that. Around the 2 hour and 50 minute mark, they start talking about the Marnie fuel system as well as gear tagging and saying that they're going to reduce the cost. They also put out a bunch of codes on this as well for you to be able to get free stuff. We'll go through all the codes, but one of the codes is for free Marnie fuels. So yeah, I'll show you those in a second. The 2 hour and 52 minute mark, they bring out a whole bunch of different costumes. You can also just view the pictures of the costumes in the post that is on the Black Desert page here. So some neat little outfits coming out. And then the final bit of information on skins coming at the 2 hour and 54 minute mark are going to be Carrack skins. So you have Carrack skins that you can pick up now. There's some overviews of them right there. Back into the live stream out at the 2 hour and 59 minute mark. They start talking about additional changes that you can do through like Q&A sections here. So the first one is that there is going to be the ability to change the time of day during screenshots. So you can change the actual like lighting of a screenshot. You cannot change the weather though. So if you're trying to take a cool screenshot, it's a nice feature. Definitely going to be useful for me, who makes my thumbnails using the in-game feature. At the 3:02 mark, 3 hours and 2 minute mark, they start talking about griefing in the game and how people just get flagged up on and killed while they're life skilling and blah, 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 blah. They basically say they don't have an answer right now, but they're looking into it. Don't worry, soon TM. The 3:05 mark, 3 hour and 5 minute mark, they're going to talk about a taxi system, basically. They're calling it horse without owners at this exact moment. But basically in cities, there are going to be horses that spawn. You can get on the horse for a limited amount of time and ride it to like the next city, like a taxi system. It'll be a random spawn and tier, so you can get all the way up to Dream Horse is what they said. I don't know how realistic that is, but so neat feature. If you're trying to go town to town, you can basically take a taxi. Then at the 3 hour and 20 minute mark, we get into the live quiz show, which has a bunch of rewards and codes, so we'll show you all those here in a second. But as you saw from the intro, Evil Do Us Harm was one of the hints on the quiz show, which, you know, definitely very exciting. It's at the 3 hour, 28 minute mark. 3 hour, 28 minute, 19 second mark is where the Evil Do Us Harm hint comes up. So if you want to go and say that that's your favorite timestamp in the comments on it, just, you know. All right, so moving on from the Calpheon ball here into actual events that came out with this as well. The first is the Mysterious Man quest. Behind Baron Rework and Calpheon, you can talk to him to receive these items. I'm going to make a separate video on these because I've been disconnected from the Black Desert server, I guess, for some reason. But anyway, if you talk to him, you get a ton of free stuff, so make sure to talk to him. You have like a month to do it. It's running through April 27th, but yeah, make sure to do it. Once again, I'll put out a separate video. Next up, we have the Light Up the Skies of Calpheon event going on here. This one I'm going to do a community event because there's a second part to this event. And this second part of the event involves taking a screenshot with a bunch of people releasing these for the chances to win a bunch of like Black Desert goodies. And the event says to take it with your friends and like, you know, why not make this a community event, Levi? So yeah, look out on my social channel, on my YouTube channel. So if you go to my Evil Do Us Harm YouTube channel here and on the community tab, I'll create a little community event thing here and schedule it. So Yeah, it'll also be in my Discord server, so if you're not in my Discord server, make sure to hop in here and get in there. There's also a code associated with this event, so I'll put all the codes here in the description below. We then have the Calpheon quiz show that we just went through, so you just saw that I was the answer to one of those. There's also a code for that. There's more codes as well. I'll make sure to put those all in the description below. We then have the final event, the Calpheon Episode 2's special buff. So this buff can be picked up from Gym Silver. It's a 3-hour buff with energy recovery, item drop rate, EXP boost, knowledge gains, movement speed, and luck. You can find this NPC in multiple locations. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this one. So we covered all the information from the ball, all of the codes, all the important information, all the upcoming stuff that you should be excited for. If this video is going to help you, do let me know. Also, once again, consider subscribing. You stay up to date when all of this new content comes out. Helps to grow my channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you all so much once again. I look forward to seeing you at the next live stream over on Twitch, YouTube video right here, or wherever I happen to see you. Peace.